Hey guys, Weave here. Welcome back to another video by VarietyMMOs. So today's video is going to focus on gold making for premium players. So I would strongly suggest going to watch the free-to-play gold making guide that I've created first, because it does show you how to make gold for free-to-play players, and it also shows you how to get shop tokens to basically make you as a free-to-play player on the same point as a premium player, so you can use all these methods as well. So go and watch that video first and then come back and watch this video. Okay, so now I assume you're either a premium user or you have your shop tokens from the previous video. So the first method we're going to be talking about is movement speed abilities. So this may not seem so apparent at the beginning because you can't use them in the lobby. However, movement speed abilities are very vitally important. They're not as strong as in Japan because you're unable to edit them. However, most classes do have some kind of ability that allows you to move forward. Some classes do require you to combine these with another ability because they have an animation at the end, which is something you don't want. However, every class can move really quickly. For example, any mage class or summoner class can use this ability here, which, as you can see, zooms you quite far and you can click it quite a few times in a row. So you can get a lot of distance around the map. So you're probably thinking, well, why is this helpful? This is helpful because you can use this when going around maps, when gathering, when just trying to get to the end of a map to kill a boss, when trying to keep up with other people who are using it themselves, and a variety of other reasons. So abilities like this are actually very, very important, and you get them by going into your main quest counter, going to subquest, going to advanced quest, and looking at here. So if you go through super hard on these quests, you're going to get different movement speed abilities on a lot of these maps. A lot of people in the game should already know where they're located. At the beginning of the game, people didn't really know where they were, so they were hard to discover, so people were selling them for $1 million+ Mester, which was honestly quite insane. But they're not worth as much now, but with all the new influx of players, you'll be able to go into an area, for example, getting the ability that I just showed, getting 10 of them, and then selling them to the noobs for quite a bit of money, because as a new player comes into the game, they have a lot of money given to them to kind of get them off the ground, and they kind of throw it around in excess because they think they have a lot of it, and they will buy up all of your items. A lot of your items will come from the super high versions of the advanced quests. You can get some from other places, but definitely the best place to get them is the advanced super hards. So what you're going to do is get them, and then you go sell them with your premium to other players. Okay, so next up would be getting your ults to level 30. So one of the most important things in the game is your mag. Without going too much into it, one of the reasons that a mag is important is because a mag's base stats is given to the character. For example, if you open up your mags here and we go to my dex, I can put this on, use this with a class that has a small amount of dex to get a large amount of dex, and then I can wear a weapon that's the highest tiered in the game when I'm only like level 30, which I shouldn't be doing. And while I might not be as powerful as a level 75, I'm infinitely more powerful than the average level 35 would be. This allows you to level up and various other things. So this is only a small part of how important mags are. So what people are going to want to do is they're going to want to level up the mag really quickly, and this is where the gold making method comes into play. So when you reach level 30, go to coffee and you will get a quest for the auxiliary course, and it'll basically give you 2 quests to go get the auxiliary console and go and put it out. When you do this, you're going to get like these, they're like tokens that are used on your mag, and what you do is you use them on your mag, and they basically level you up with only that one stat. For example, let's call it a dex pill, and you use it on your mag, you won't get any other stats. Like if you put a weapon in, you'll get both melee and you'll get another stat that you don't want. But with the pills, you can level up extremely fast and you don't have to worry about any secondary stats. And it gets you to a level 100 mag incredibly quick. With so many new players coming into the game, they're all going to want to level up the mag fast So what you're going to want to do is you're going to get your alts, get them to level 30, complete the auxiliary quest, and then when you complete the auxiliary quest, you get given 2 sets of 30 pills. And then you can trade these pills and go into the shop and go into personal shop. And you will be able to sell your items in here. As you just saw, you do require a password on your personal shop. So you get your pills and just sell the pills for a massive amount of money. Please note though, there is 2 important things here to remember. If you make an ult and you delete it, it takes 24 hours to delete. The second thing to remember is that it is possible to buy more alts. For example, you get 3 classes by default, and you are able to buy, let's say, 2 more to 5. If you delete an ult and go back down to 4 slots, that 5th slot that you brought is no longer available. You have to buy the 5th slot again. So any characters that are over the original 3, if you delete them, you'll have to buy it back with real life money. So it's really only worth doing if you only have 3 characters. If you have more than 3, then you're going to want to do the gathering method that I mentioned in the free-to-play gold making guide, because no one wants to spend real life money to get your character slots back. Okay, so let's talk about items. So when you get into the game, you're going to see a lot of items like this. Go into here, you're going to go standard sort, rarity. So, as you can see here, I have a high rarity item. And you're going to be like, whoa, that's a lot of stars. This should be worth a lot of money. Sometimes, yes. But the stars aren't necessarily everything. So while they are important, they aren't everything at all. Especially when it comes to armor. So what a lot of people do is when they play the game, they only pick up red or above items, which are 9-star above items, which is a mistake. The reason for this is because if you go to rarity and armor, you can see that my highest rarity armor piece, it has no stat lines on it. None at all. So while it has a lot of stars, it doesn't give any stats. It's completely worthless. So what you're looking for is actually stat lines. So instead of rarity, you're going to want to go number of augments. So for example, we have the legs Algalia here that has 6 stat lines on it. So when it comes to the armor, while the stars, do give an indication of the gear, the stat lines are what's most important for various reasons. If you click on a piece of gear and go to check item market price, you can see the price of the item itself, and you can see that it's only worth like 5k, right? But as you can see here, it's only got 3 stat lines on it, or 2 stat lines, etc. However, if you click on the same piece of gear and go to check augment prices, you get to select one of your pieces, right? So we're going to take off the soul. We're going to look for a piece that has stigma on it, and we're going to say we're only looking for pieces that have, say, 6 on it, right? So search all units. So now we're looking for units that have that 1 stat line that I asked for, and only units that have 6 stat lines. So if you looked at the price of these items, you would have saw, was it like 20,000, and you would have sold your item for that price. But your value of the item is actually how many stat lines you have and which stat lines, not the item itself. Many people get baited into selling their items at a lower price with important stat lines, and what people do is they buy them up, they take these items and they take the stat lines off one piece of gear and they combine them on another piece of gear, and they sell these items for 100 million plus mesta. So make sure that you don't sell any of your armor pieces that have anything more than, I would say, 4 slots. You should look at and check the price out, because they can potentially be worth a lot of money depending on which augment it is. Once you've figured that out, then you can go into here and sell your item at a real price and not actually get scams for it. So while this is not available in NA, I will talk a little bit about it without going over to the Japan server. So one of the things that you can do in Japan is you're able to break down discs. So if you go to all storage, you'll have discs in here. We'll be unsure of what level of disc is needed to break down So a lot of people are saving their level 10s right now, hoping that they'll be able to break them down later on and make a ton of money. So you grab the discs and you go into here and go to your house. So let's go to the personal quarters. So what you're going to do is you break down these discs into parts. And you use these parts to craft abilities. For example, the ability earlier where I showed you with electricity where I was zapping around, you can craft the ability in the way that it does less damage, but you can cast it quicker. Or you can make it so it does less damage and it costs less mana. So it'll be done in here. But the reason it's so important is because when you think about it, an ability that you're using to get across the map, if you lower the PP cost of it, which is basically the mana cost of it, you can spam it much more often to get much more distance. So when you think about that when it comes to a lot of different abilities, it's actually a huge part of the game. So I won't go too much about it, but just save your level 10 discs, just in case they are used for crafting when it comes out, because if they are, you will make a lot of money on it. Okay, so that covers the premium ways of making gold. Again, if you haven't checked it, please do go check out the free-to-play gold making guide, because they are supposed to be combined videos to help you make gold. That's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.